And let's just hit live. Live from this new studio setup that I've got here, set up right in front of me. We've got, you might not be able to see it, you might just be listening to it. If you are listening to it, then welcome. You won't hear any difference. If you're watching it on YouTube, you're going to see a whole host of new stuff in front of you right now. There's a flamingo here. There's a bobblehead that I need to replace really, really quickly. Snow globe, cup, we've got it all. We've got everything that we need in a cool little studio to start a podcast. Thanks for joining me. Again, if you're joining me, well, of course you're joining me listening to this right now. I keep erming. I shouldn't erm so much. I'm here again to talk about tech news, more tech news, specific tech news. This time, we're going to go and we're going to start with some gaming news, because we like gaming news on the channel. So we got, if you will, draw your attention over here, we've got the Playdate, a new handheld gaming system. And if you can't see it, it's got a crank on it. If you can see it, there's a crank. The crank, let's go who it's by first. So it's by the dudes who did, this sounds really stupid. Where am I looking? I'm looking for the name of the team that's made it. Ugh. Basically, people who've made cool indie games like Katamari, Getting Over It with Bennett Foddy, I guess. It's made by, this sounds ridiculous. I don't know who it's made by. Who is the Playdate made by? It's something like Fire Flame. Here we go. Panic. They're called Panic. So Panic, I've got a games console that's due to land in 2020. I picked the wrong news title. So looks really cool, first of all. Look at it there. It's nice. It's nice and cranky. The cool thing about it, let me see if I can find a little video of it, because if I can find the video, you can understand why it looks really cool. The screen is black and white. The screen's black and white, but they're calling it a premium black and white screen, which is, let me find this. That's just another guy's YouTube video. I'm trying to find the Playdate. There maybe. There we go. Let's go there. In fact, let's go to actual Playdate's website. But it's got a link is dangerous from McAfee. Do we trust McAfee? I don't trust McAfee anymore. So set the wrist. Let's go in there. So we got the Playdate. Hello, we made a brand new handheld gaming system. It's yellow. It fits in your pocket. It's got a beautiful black and white screen. It's premium, premium quality. It's not super expensive though. It includes a game every month. I think it was saying every month. They're gonna Netflix it basically, so they're gonna have seasons of games, which is an interesting way of doing it. Some of the coolest things of being young and having games is having the new game all the time. Having the new game. What's going to be interesting if people do pick up the Playdate, people who are playing it in school maybe, people who are young, all having the same game at the same time. Didn't happen a lot. Well, it probably did happen because you always had the newest game, but it probably didn't happen as much as you would like it to happen. So potentially you're all playing the same game, you're all getting the same experience, so it could be pretty exciting for new people. So over 20 years, Panic has mostly made Mac and iOS software. 20 years is a long time. We wanted to try some new things. So they published Firewatch. You know Firewatch. Firewatch is this game. It's fancy. It's cool. It's like I think it's a survival game. I've not really played it, but it's on the Switch. A little mystery set in the Wyoming wilderness. So they know about games. Do they know about consoles? I hope they do. I definitely hope they do. So let me find where I was up to. So they've made a console called the Playdate. It looks really cool. It's got a little crank on the side of it. The crank is not to power it. A couple of people, when it first launched, when the leak of the pictures came out, the images, they were saying the crank powers it. It doesn't. The crank is like an analog stick. The way that they're kind of selling it is it's a way of controlling the console, which is really cool. It's an interesting, novel way of controlling a console, given that you're used to, obviously, analog sticks. Analog sticks are the way we've been for, what? When did they come out? PS2, maybe? Maybe GameCube? So 20 years. So there it is with a little crank. it flips out from the side, and it's a rotated analog controller that puts a whole new spin on games. Some will use the crank exclusively, like Crank into Time Travel Adventure. Some don't use it at all. So here's the Crank into Time Travel Adventure. I'm trying to... Can I grab this? Oh, I can rotate it. There we go. This is nothingness to you if you're not watching me do it. But yeah, you can rotate it, have a look around it. That's pretty cool. You can do that. Made in Malaysia. So premium quality. It kind of looks like an Etch-a-Sketch and an iPod at the same time. It's nice. Looks nice. Looks like it might be made out of maybe metal. I hope it's metal. Maybe not. Maybe it is. The crank came from Teenage Engineering, who are the partners for Playdate design. So that's nice. The Playdate's going to cost $149, and all 12 games will be included in the actual price. So you're getting, effectively, 12 games over the seat. So they'll last for a month. Will they last for a month, or do you own them forever? It didn't actually say. Yeah, I don't know. It didn't say. I'm probably going to have to read the Edge article. It came out in an Edge magazine article anyway, so that's what we're experiencing. It's coming out in 2020, which is quite a way away. How's it going to fold into the current handheld gaming market? I think handheld gaming is weird right now because you've got the Switch, which isn't a handheld console but is portable, so you can take it where you want. It's a full power console. Well, it's as close to a full power console as you're going to get. I guess there's a PS Vita still about. You've still got your smartphone games. You've still got tablet games that people are playing. But is Playdate like a little tiny... $149 is not unreasonable for a little console. I guess it's like a Christmas present for kids and stuff. I'd definitely play it if I can get hold of one. So yeah, it could become... People are saying it's the next Game Boy, like the way it's designed and stuff. I kind of don't buy into that. Just on the Game Boy is kind of so iconic and so much of... It's just a brand. It's a brand. It's an icon in gaming. People know it. People know obviously Tetris, and people know the Mario game. I was a big fan of the Addams Family game, which is an obscure one, but yeah, it's kind of a weird direction to take it in. Because the actual console has a little black and white screen, so it's going to have quirky little games on it. Have we had our fill of quirky indie games when it comes to like phones and stuff? I feel like I've played a lot of quirky games that I wouldn't have necessarily bought, but obviously free trials and stuff through Play Store, through the Apple Store. So yeah, maybe it could be something. Maybe it's something. Maybe they're onto something novel. I hope they are, because handheld gaming's kind of died, and it's kind of cool to be able to, because long car journeys used to be playing your Game Boy, playing your Game Boy Advance, I guess. What are you going to do now? Look out the window, play I Spy a little bit, and that's not interesting. You could, at the moment, I don't even know what you do now. I guess you're on your phone. Are you texting though when you're 8? You can't be texting anybody when you're 8. Surely to God. Let me know if people are texting people when they're 8. I think they might be. I might be completely underestimating 8-year-olds and their ability to text their friends at 8 years old. But I might not be. I might be right. Let's move on to, speaking of texting, I guess, Amazon sold someone a Moto Z4 before Motorola had even announced it. The Verge were reporting this earlier today. I think it's today, yeah. Yeah, it's today. So, effectively, this phone here, the Motorola Moto Z4, it was accidentally listed on Amazon a couple of weeks ago. But the exciting thing about it, or the weird thing about it is, Motorola hadn't actually announced it was coming out yet. So they listed it by accident. It was offered for sale immediately. Somebody bought it. It was shipped to the guy. He's done an unboxing video. It's available on YouTube there. I'm not going to play it, but it's there. And he's been on Reddit answering questions about it. He's got some cool stuff about it. He's put it on there. So the Amazon listing here has... Wait, hang on. So it comes with a 360-degree Moto Mod camera that they're going to be throwing in alongside the phone. It's the same Snapdragon 675 chipset, which is... a newer one than the recently released Pixel 3a. 128GB built-in storage, expandable through microSD. 4 gigabytes of RAM. This is all boring stuff that you don't really care about. It's got a headphone jack. All the cool specs are there. It's got a 15 watt fast charging battery. You can still go on Amazon and you can still find it. It's still on there via cached, Google Cache, obviously. I don't think that we're gonna get more people buying it by accident, and it's kind of in a world where like leaks are a huge deal. People hate leaks. People obviously fight tooth and nail to stop leaks. I was watching the Game of Thrones documentary thing, I guess. Can't remember what it was called, but it was the thing that got released on Sunday night about the making of Game of Thrones, and a key thing in that was the actors got some scripts kind of, and then when they came in for the table reads, they would shred them just to stop people getting the leaks, because you don't want the leaks out there. The leaks ruin things for people in a world where all people care about is spoilers. If something is spoiled by somebody in this day and age, there's an uproar. People go crazy for it. There's a 9-day embargo enforced by the actual makers of Endgame. They came online and said, don't tell anybody about Endgame for 9 days. Let them go and experience it themselves. And that was cool. Motorola probably had a similar thing. But yeah, Amazon went and royally messed this one up for them. His unboxing's there. I might put the unboxing in the comments of this, but in the description of this, because you might want to go there and see it. It's got a decent notch, a normal notch, a little tiny notch. It's kind of got like a little Huawei notch on it at the top there. And yeah, there's more information on there that I'm not going to go through now because it's boring. And I'm conscious that I'm waffling about phones a little bit too much here. So let's shift gears a little bit. I'm going to go to Amazon testing emotional recognition gadget. They're saying basically that there's going to be a wearable gadget in 2019, maybe 2020. Oh no, because it says beta testing. So they got something called Dylan. Yeah, is that right? Amazon haven't commented on it, but it's codenamed Dylan. It's a beta test in collaboration with Lab 126, the developers behind the Fire and the Echo. They're going to basically try and find a way to recognize how you're feeling. You're sad today? Amazon Alexa's it's gonna come to you and it's gonna try and cheer you up a little bit, which is exciting. It's great news if you're a sort of not like I wouldn't say depressed person. I'm not gonna say Alexa's gonna pull you out of depression, but maybe there's a nice song that you like that cheers you up. So Alexa knows to play that when it's time, when you need dragging out of a hole that you're in. Annette Zimmerman, the research VP at Gartner, believes that emotional intelligence devices will continue to be a trend, saying that by 2022, your personal device will know more about your emotional state than your own family does. That's kind of creepy. It's a weird thing to say. Basically, they're saying here that you're in a room with your family. They don't know what you're up to. They don't know what you're thinking. But Alexa does. Whatever you're wearing knows. Amazon knows that means. And suddenly you're part of like a mainframe where they know exactly what you're thinking. They know exactly what you're doing. They know exactly what you're up to. I'm not interested in that. It's a weird future. It's like the Minority Report future, where they know you're going to commit a murder before you commit the murder. And then you go and commit the murder, but you try and go and commit the murder, but before you can commit the murder, Tom Cruise is hammering down your door, taking you out. So that seems like a weird future. I want to do more research on that. Let me do a little bit more research on Amazon Echo Emotions. Right, let's see. Amazon develops wearable that can read human emotions. This is from innovateonthenet.net. According to Bloomberg, the wrist-worn gadget is a collaboration between Lab 126, we've done already, designed to work with a smartphone app, microphones. Oh, it does it through the sound of his or her voice. That's kind of not interesting. That's kind of not what I was even painting a second ago. So I was expecting it to be like heart rate, and I guess they can already do heart rate. But the sound of your voice, if you've got a whiny voice anyway, I've got a whiny voice, they're going to think I'm sad all the time, and I'm not. Genuinely happy. So yeah, that's a bit of a weird one, I guess. It's exciting though when you kind of think about it, because I've discussed this before. The future was supposed to be like flying cars, things like that. Flying cars, robot butlers. I'm thinking of the Jetsons there. Tubes that fire you to school or work. Robot dogs. We've got none of that. We've got robot dogs, kind of rubbish. We've got the Roomba Hoovers, I guess. Helicopters. Do we have tubes? We don't have tubes. The tubes, we're still waiting on the tubes. But we've got everything else. So the future is pretty much here already. But Amazon is trying to give us a different kind of future. With the wearables and the reading of the minds. If it was possible to read minds, which I'm guessing it would it be? Because if your brain is only transmitting electrical charges around it, your thoughts are your thoughts because that's how your brain works. It would be hard to kind of discern that because you're just taking electric charges. There's nothing you can really, unless you're writing down your thoughts. How could it read your thoughts? If there's any scientists, I don't know, what a weird thing to say. There's no scientists listening to this. But if there was, explain to me how thoughts could be read, because I guess brain waves, brain activity, you could maybe perceive, like, this is what a bad thought looks like in brain pattern. This is what a good thought looks like. And you could kind of get an idea of emotion from that. But then you'd have to be having your brain scanned every two. No. We're not buying this. Amazon, get this out of there. I'm not interested in this. This is not for me. I don't want this. I just want to live in my own little bubble and not have Amazon products, actually. I don't have any Amazon products. Amazon Prime was kind of a letdown to me because some of the video service is okay. I mean, it loads fairly. Nothing's as good as Netflix. That's the problem with the video streaming services. Their music service is weird because some of it is included with Prime, some of it isn't. You have to pay for stuff, or you can pay for stuff additionally on top of Prime. Amazon do weird things. They try and exist in every single space. They're a great shopping place. Pretty much everything here has come from Amazon in some form. That light has, this microphone has, that camera has. Everything here has come from Amazon. But kind of rubbish at actual technology. Maybe Alexa's good. I'm never going to use it, I don't think, because I'm so into the way that I don't want to say it because it's over there, but Google Home deals with your infrastructure in your house. I like the smartness of Google Home. I like how you can go, okay, Google, make the lights in my bedroom green, and then these guys should go green. There you go. That simple stuff that I just like to have. That's the Google Home Mini, by the way, that I reviewed about last week. Godsend, perfect thing to have in the home. It'll pick you up from miles away. I've just popped that a little bit, but yeah, it picks up your voice from literally all the way over here. It's all the way over there, and it picks you up perfectly. I didn't think that it would fill the room like it does in terms of volume. I definitely was not expecting it to fill the room like it does, but it does. It's fine. It's perfect. It does exactly what you expect it to. Maybe a little bit more. Maybe it's like a stellar performer in terms of that. But yeah, I praise Google a little bit. Let's go to the next bit, which is basically we don't like Google anymore. Huawei are apparently ready in their Android replacement OS. It's going to start rolling out in June. We spoke about Huawei a lot. Huawei a lot in the last two videos. I actually, for a brief moment, a few weeks ago, I was the first person on YouTube with the news that Huawei and Google had fallen out. So effectively, I was just getting a load of people in, just clicking Huawei. I was the Google search for a little bit, so that was exciting. It's not going to happen now, but yeah. The new OS that is replacing Android is known as Hongmeng internally and is expected to launch next month. Android apps are expected to work with it, and it will be available through Huawei's app gallery. Huawei doesn't expect the US ban to affect them because of its self-reliance in both hardware and software. There's a lot of people going along with the ban now. because obviously it's an executive order from President Trump, from this arsehole, and he basically has a. I shouldn't call him an arsehole. He's probably a fine person, maybe. Yeah. So the executive order came through. Don't trade with Huawei. They're dangerous. Don't trade with China. They're problematic to US interests, maybe. So Huawei, the wheels have come off them a little bit. They're saying that nothing's going to happen. I don't think personally that they're going to fall apart like a lot of places are saying. It's a big deal for now, but there will be probably some sort of... There's got to be a resolution to it, because at the end of the day, people love money. And money talks. Trump loves money. So Trump is going to... There's going to be a reason for him not to keep this ban up for Huawei, which means good news for, everyone. Good news for phone makers. I was listening to Unbox Therapy. No, sorry, Lou Later, his podcast, Lou's podcast from Unbox Therapy. He was saying that the Microsoft have pulled support for their Huawei Mate books, I think they're called. Are they called Mate books? MateBook Pro. Oh, let me just type that in. MateBook X Pro, which is just basically the rip-offs of, not rip-offs, but like kind of the Mac looking PC that Huawei makes. Let me get that on there for you so you can see that's basically what we're looking at there. And they do look incredibly MacBooky, but apparently super good laptops. Microsoft decided to pull them from their official store. You can still get them in physical stores. You can still get them. I think you can still get them pretty much everywhere where laptops are sold in this country, in the UK. Probably harder in the US at the moment, but the ban isn't affecting. It's affecting us to an extent in terms of EE have decided not to use Huawei for 5G now, which is going to probably slow down the actual 5G infrastructure in the UK. But I'm sure there'll be a resolution. I'm sure we'll still get 5G and we'll still have super fast phones going on. Yeah. So yeah, Huawei. What was I talking about? I've lost my train of thought. Oh yeah, the new operating system. So there's apparently confusion internally about the new... Oh, hang on. So this is an update. Huawei reached out to TechRadar to debunk the story that it would be available in June. So I should have read this firsthand. Read this before I actually got on here. Huawei confirmed that Hongbeng might be ready to launch in China in late 2019, with the international release sometimes in 2020. Well, 2020's... I mean, the current Huawei devices aren't affected, so that's cool. So far, that's what we're aware of. So that's kind of... Yeah. Safe for now. If you've got a Huawei device, you're safe for now. And then new ones will come with the new operating system, which is fair enough. It might delay. I'm going to go with a P40 Pro, maybe. Is that what they're going to call it? The P40 Pro, maybe? I'm taking a little drink there. Yeah, it'll probably delay the P40 Pro. It's not going to cause you any issue now if you've got a Huawei. I saw there was a survey asking people if they were going to keep their Huawei phones. And seems a weird survey to have, given that... I mean, I guess it's the scaremongering in the media, because people are kind of don't understand what's going on, or they don't care to find out what's going on, and they're ignorant to it. But some people are just... the media is just trying to panic people with Huawei phones, with Huawei devices, into... trying to trick them into thinking, you need to get rid of it now. It's banned, so it's not going to be supported anymore. It's all absolutely going to be supported. It's still supported now. Any phone that's out in the wild already is going to be supported by Huawei. They've made that commitment, so don't worry. If I'm the first person that you're stumbling across and you're trying to find information about whether or not you should get rid of your Huawei phone, don't. Great phone, great camera, great everything about Huawei. I like Huawei. Apart from the potential spying and the potential trade issues with the US. But the rest of it, absolutely fine. Probably. I wanted to actually... So I did a video yesterday. If I'm going to go here. I'm going to go to here. You can't see it. You can now. There you go. So it was this video yesterday. It was the Skull Candy wireless jib Bluetooth headset that's under $30. It's here. It's in my hand right now. So I said on the video that I was going to test it out a little bit. First thing I noticed when I was testing it out, we've got a bit of an issue with battery life on it. In that, this is probably going to be a slightly deeper dive because I've lived with it for a couple of days now. So it works. It does what it's supposed to do. Fine Bluetooth headset. Sounds fine. Looks fine. It does everything you'd expect it to as a Bluetooth headset. Couple of niggles with it. It doesn't. The light on it that's for charging doesn't go green when it's fully charged, which gives you the impression that, well, it might have gone green. I might have missed it. I haven't seen it go green yet. Gives you the impression that when red is gone, it turns itself off, which doesn't seem to be the case because when it's sat in the standby mode, when it's plugged in, I don't know if it's taking charge away or not because I've seen it revert back to red while it's been on charge after being clear. The light, I mean. So potentially, well, that's not potentially. In my head, that means it's charged up fully and then it started to discharge. So it started to take more charge from the power source, which is weird. Second thing with it is so I don't know if it's something I'm doing. When it's paired by Bluetooth, which is obviously the only way you can use it, it kept kind of dropping out the signal. So it would kind of, when you turn it on and press play, you get like a nice fade-in effect. It's kind of like it's just like a fade-in effect. Like the audio is just faded in and it starts playing. As the song plays and it fades in. And then when you press the pause button, it fades it out. Really nice, sounds nice. Kept doing it in the middle of songs when I wasn't pressing anything. I wasn't doing anything. It would just randomly fade down and then fade back up again. It was almost as if the Bluetooth signal was just lost. It might have been something I was doing. Well, initially I thought it was something I was doing because I thought there was some sort of strange button on here that causes it to do something. Maybe I'm touching some sort of like microphone, maybe it's voice activate something. I was hoping something was, but I couldn't work it out. I still can't work it out. It's happened. It tends to be when I'm walking. So when I'm walking, I've got the headset in. It fades out a little bit, and it's just in the way. It's inconvenient, and obviously I didn't spend a lot of money on it. But if you were going to buy it at full price, then it's kind of. I feel like if it's going to cut out, then it's not worth having this. That's the reason that I had a wired headset in the first place. So for it to cut out is kind of off to me. But I don't know if I'm doing something wrong. So I'm going to keep plugging away with it. Last thing, it doesn't have 6 hour battery life. It says on the box 6 hours battery life. I got 4 out of it on today. So I was listening to it all day. And then I had to charge after about 4 hours, which was most inconvenient because I couldn't listen to music because I didn't bring a spare headset. Because you don't think you need a spare headset. This is the headset. This is my headset now. This wireless headset is what I'm going to use. And yeah, it was kind of... Yeah, let me not get into burying products on here because it's 2 days. I've only used it for 2 days. It might improve. It sounds great. It does sound great when it's working. The noise isolation is good, but yeah, it's just kind of sucky that a couple of days in it's already causing me issues. So that is pretty much all I've got to talk about today. It's going to come in at like 30 minutes, which is ideal. I just wanted to do a short one today anyway. I didn't really have a lot to talk about. Nothing exciting's happened. We're still rumbling away from Huawei. Playdate came out, but it kind of was... The news, came out about Playdate, but it's kind of there's nothing tangible yet. So yeah, there's nothing really there. If you've obviously done the reading yourself, you kind of know what the Playmate is already. I'm saying Playmate when it's Playdate. Playdate's weird. Playdate's a weird name. Playmate's better. Why am I calling it a Playmate? I'm so confused. I'm so tired. Let's end this because I'm rambling now. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to follow. Don't forget to subscribe. We're on House of Hoot at House of Hoot on Instagram, Twitter. You can get us on Facebook at House of Hoot, and then at houseofhoot.com. Thanks. Bye. I'm back maybe tomorrow. I want to go deep diving on some gaming stuff, so we'll do that at some point this week. So thank you and goodbye.